everyone, welcome back to The Loud Quiet. We are releasing this episode on Christmas Day, and we hope that y'all are having a wonderful Christmas and just a very special holiday season. Thank you so much for being a part of the Loud Quiet audience.
This episode was from 2023, and this was our first experience as empty nesters when the kids came back from college. Tanner was a senior, Tegan was a freshman, and I'm sure we had lots of stories to tell from that holiday season. So we hope you enjoy. And again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we will see you guys in 2026.
Welcome to the Loud Quiet.
Ooh, empty nester. Okay. What does that mean?
I think that actually probably is the theme of the empty nest. What are we doing? Let's do this. Let's do this thing. I don't know if I'm recording. Yeah. Okay.
Great. Sans children, just us. We need a tissue box up here. Follow along on our journey, and maybe, we can learn from others.
Yeah. I don't have a clue how to be empty nester.
This is the Loud Quiet, living the empty nest. All right, well, welcome back. Welcome to 2024. Today is the first day of the new year. So we decided we finally have had time to actually sit down and do a recording. We've been pretty busy. And so we, as you can see, we are in our gym clothes, but we went to the gym because it's Monday.
That's right.
Not because it's January 1st. This is not day one, but I'm not trying. I'm encouraging those, if you're starting a new fitness journey, then start and stick with it. And you can reach out to me if you need help, suggestions. There are tons of workouts out there. So even if you don't want to go into the gym, there are so many things available on YouTube. So, but yes, like I said, this is just our, we were a little later to the gym, but it's our Monday. I mean, I guess.
Well, I was definitely a lot later.
You were. I guess I'm there because I work there. But so,
yeah. So headed into the gym today and realized, let's hit record. Let's tell some tales from what what we've experienced over the last couple of weeks. Kids have been home. It's been the holidays for us. It's been the holidays for y'all. And so I just thought we'd do a little storytelling.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And I mean, one kid's already gone back and is coming back this weekend.
He's boomeranging back. Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about that. It is this was the first time that we had both kids returning.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Tegan got back first. I think we may have already talked about that. Then Tanner already joined. And so we went from that, what we've been talking about for the last X number of episodes of the empty nest, to the full house.
Yeah.
It really was. And what a full, fun house it was.
It was this was just a good, fun break. And I think a lot of it was because their semester ended. They didn't have to think about anything. Tegan wasn't thinking about, okay, but I need to practice these dances for competition season. Okay, I need to think about, some of my classes that I did have work in over the break. So I think for her, that was such a realization of, I'm done. It's a complete just stoppage. I don't have to do anything. I've already registered for my next classes, everything, So yeah, I think that just made us all just more relaxed and willing to, hey, let's go out on whatever night and stay out and do whatever.
And that's what you and I had talked about this a lot of during the break, that we call it a break, right? You and I still worked pretty much through it, but the kids' break is that this one, more so than at least the recent holiday seasons that I can think of, I felt like we really embraced it. It really was. And it wasn't just because we were doing stuff all the time, because there were times we weren't. Here it is, Jan 1. I have the chance to look back, and a lot of those look backs would be, oh man, it just flew by. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I wish we'd done that. And just not even that sit still and appreciate. And this time I can look back and confidently say that in many times I'm being literal with this statement. I sat still and just appreciated.
I I listened to more Christmas music this year than I think I have in a really long time. And I don't know if it was just because I was just in such a good, happy mood that the kids were back.
Yeah.
Neither one of them had been back home since they left in August.
Right. There was no Thanksgiving blip. This was it.
So I think I just was really, sometimes I go into the holidays thinking, okay, and we got to do this and we got to do that. But this one, I just really, I feel kind of the same way you did. I was just in a really good mood. I mean, of course, yes, there were things that irritated me, and
oh yeah,
I think I yelled at people in the kitchen once, but it's because
we weren't rolling film on that. It didn't exist.
Things fall on the mom that, there's a lot to do when you're hosting one event or multiple events. But it was just a nice, now, I mean, there was a ton of like schedule coordination because they both had, I think we kind of talked about that a little bit. Do we have this on this day? And what am I doing? So, Tanner still has a very active social life back here. And Tegan did too this time because she hadn't seen any of these people. So it was very much, we were still trying to coordinate everyone's schedules. But I feel like it was just full advantage of having them here. And yeah, like you said, just sometimes just all being in the same room together was just nice. And sitting down and all eating dinner together was just nice. So
watching the two of them interact was a lot of fun too, because we have seen our kids. Now Thanksgiving, obviously we've talked about that, but in general, when we go out to see kids, we see kids independently. So this was nice to just live life together, the four of us, even if it wasn't anything special. I think that's the thing, is it didn't have to be something special. It was just living life again. And, to your point of not being in semester or anything like that, also the length of the college break really helps with this, right? There was no, if the team advances, there'll be somebody dancing on Friday or Saturday night. It really was. The only people that had to worry about getting up early was you and me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do. It is nice to see the kids interact differently now that they're both in college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tanner never treated Tegan like a little sister that was annoying, but they just now are having similar experiences that they can, really talk about, and it's common, even though he's a senior and she's a freshman. It's different, and it's nice hearing them talk about, that class sounds fun that you're taking, and I'd like to take that, so yeah, it was nice. And
we still, I think this was something that I don't know, like I'm doing this very much off the cuff now in my mind, but I think there were elements too that, in spite of kids being back, we still were the couple that we were, not just the parents that we are, where I did stuff with guys, you did stuff with girls, we did stuff as couples, that sort of thing. So it wasn't just all kids all the time. So I think there's an element too that it was because we've all advanced to this phase of life. We did stuff, they did stuff, and then all of us did stuff.
But I will say to that, I did feel like there were certain times when I was like, okay, wait, but what are you doing tonight? Wanted to make sure that they had something doing before, we
abandoned them. Is probably a feeling
I felt that I don't want us to go out because I want to make sure they have, and we did. Like Tanner went with us to happy hour, then we came back and got Tegan and went to dinner, right. So we did. But I did have that in the back of my head when I was like, okay, we're going to this party, but they had stuff going on anyway. So yeah, so it was that was still though in my head.
So maybe I've just moved a little.
Maybe so. You don't care.
I'm just a selfish bad person apparently. I just don't like my kids apparently.
So yeah, so we had a really nice. We hit the restaurants most that they wanted to hit, and when Tanner comes back this weekend, we'll do probably a couple more. But I cooked. They asked me for certain things to cook, so we did that. And
how does that feel? Like, does that? I think this is the most softball thing I've ever asked someone, but how does that make you feel when the kid says, "Oh, Mom, would you please make this?"
Yeah, and it does. It makes you feel good, and it's not anything crazy or fancy, but no, it does, and it makes me feel good when Tegan's, saying, "Okay, this summer I want you to, teach me some of the recipes that you, put together." And I mean, like I've talked about before, I don't do the kind of cooking that I used to do. But, I have tried to like minimize the time it takes to cook, but there's still things that they don't know how it gets made. So to them, it's like, oh, this is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, it took me like 10 minutes. Throw everything in the crock pot and it comes out.
Do you want to reveal your secrets or do you want to make it sound a lot more complex than it actually is?
So, but I have done more cooking though over the past, I mean, I still cook for us during the week, but sure. When you throw in Christmas Eve, having friends over, doing, Christmas Day, yeah. I just made rice and broccoli casserole for us to have for, our New Year's Day meal. So, which, is kind of funny. Well, we'll get to all that stuff. Well, let's go back. We'll go back to,
yes.
Let's start
a little
back
tease.
with,
we'll be talking about today, but
so we posted this picture, I think, already, but yes, this was our
for those
Christmas
listening,
Eve. This was before we were about to go to Christmas Eve service, and
I just want to say this. This was not the color coordination was not there between Clancy and me. This is the same red velvet jacket that I wear every year. And so when I saw that picture, I thought, oh my gosh, it totally looks like we staged that. But it was pure coincidence of matching.
Yep. And everyone was ready on time and early enough for us to be able to do a couple of pictures. So that was nice and appreciative of the kids.
It was good of them. We definitely had sort of a time limit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Somebody didn't necessarily wake up with, hours of advance notice, but in his classic style, he gave us enough time. Exactly. There just wasn't a buffer.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and it was nice. So for those that don't know, we go to Preston Trail here in Frisco. They did a fantastic Christmas Eve service as they always do. Paul and Jim. Let's see, it was Jim gave it this time, and it just. And in fact, it was either Paul or Jim that talked about sitting still during the season. And that wasn't the theme of necessarily the Christmas Eve. It was great to have all four of us sitting there together, experiencing that moment, recognizing what Christmas is about.
Yeah. Yes. So church plug, if you're looking for a church in the Frisco, McKinney, Allen area, North Plano.
Throw Prosper Salina in there maybe. Yeah.
Preston Trail is where we have returned to.
We're back home.
So that was it was good. So then we always traditionally, when we're in town, head over to my parents' house for Christmas Eve, and this is the obligatory stair and tree picture. We're missing Chad and Noom. They weren't able to be here this year, but I love it. Everyone's always worried about. We always have to watch where we put Tanner so that he's not blocking everyone else, because the Esh side is not so tall. So not that Tanner's some giant, but he's taller than everyone.
Well, there were a couple of photos that we're not showing here where he was in front, and I mean the perspective was so skewed. It was like Goliath and the Lilliputians.
Right? It's like Santa and the elves.
Yeah, that's right. There. That's better than mine. Much better.
Well, even because in this picture, like where Tegan's standing, she looks like she's not. It's just being up front, but no.
It is fun to go to their house, and I like that tradition. And certainly the picture gets done very quickly. We've learned that lesson.
Yeah, we do. Well, yes, we do it before anyone eats, and the Cowboys game was on too. So I had that incentive of let's get this done so we can watch the game. And we always do Mexican food, and it was also the tacos, tamales this year were so good.
They were, and they were just the HEB. And brought to you by HEB.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not the tamales. I don't eat those. The enchiladas were really good this year. That my mom had someone from their church was doing a fundraiser or something. They were so good, but But
Well, the
you,
tamales were
you
good,
like
too.
the HEB tamales. I don't eat tamales. They're not my favorite.
Yes,
so.
how we used to do it, where somebody made them at home.
Yeah.
That or however HEB.
Yeah,
Again,
they're
brought to you
good.
by HEB.
Yeah. So, and I will let's give a little shout out to our nephew Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Who he is very thoughtful with his gifts, and he has always done the school store. Well, they don't. He's in middle school now, so I'm guessing they don't have that anymore. But he gave us this podcast microphone.
That's right.
And
For those that are listening and not
yes,
watching,
it's on our
imagine a
yes.
classic old school microphone that is sitting on our table. It will become a decorative feature for us. And he gave that to us because he knew we had the podcast.
I mean, the kids even said Carter won on the gifts because
Yeah.
he gave us that. He gave Tegan this foot massager that, he said, well, I know you walk along across campus a lot, which yes, she does. She was very excited about that. And then he gave Tanner the game where you throw the hook or throw the little ring. It's
like what you see
in
at
bars
Bahama Bunks or a bar or
bars,
anything
yeah.
like
So
that.
so Tanner was like, "No, this is awesome. We'll put it in our kitchen or upstairs on our thing." So yeah, so Carter did a very good job of
Head over to the video. Make sure you
Yeah.
take a look at Carter's microphone. So thank you, Carter.
yeah. So then we did Christmas Day at our house. We host and had
We
our
grilled the
tenderloin.
which is so
yeah,
good. I love
the
grilling that
food
thing.
was so good. It's just we watched Die Hard. It was just that's what I said. This year just it seemed more low key, even though we didn't really.
We were busy.
We
the
were
whole
busy,
time
but
through. I'm agreeing with you.
I get so wrapped up in everything being perfect. I want it to be perfect. I think this year, and maybe it's just my age, I don't know. I tried to let some of that go. Like my pies did not come out perfect this year.
They tasted
so,
really good.
yes. Here's another tip. Don't use self-rising flour. I didn't even realize I had that in my pantry, and I used that. It rises
Oh, yeah, it
in the
does.
middle of the pie. It was,
The crust floated to the top of the pie.
I
I've
kept
never
thinking,
seen anything
why
like
do
that.
these? When I was rolling it out, I was like, this crust is weird. But I went with it. And then when they came out, I was like, they look weird. And we cut open the pecan pie, and the crust was like,
It floated.
yeah.
It's like
The
upside down
weirdest-
cake, upside down
yeah,
pie.
I know. It was so weird. But yes, the flavors were still fine, but something like that a few years ago might have, but we just went with it and it was fine. And it was just a good laid back. I mean, Tanner, I don't think he even got out of his pajamas the whole day, which I don't care. I don't need people to be,
We don't really do a real formal
No.
thing anyway. and
even
so-
though our food is formal, but we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just a good day. And then we headed down to Austin the next day to do
see my
Christmas
family,
with your
so-
family. Yeah.
And that's how we've been doing. We stopped decades ago, except for one exception a couple years ago, but doing Christmas rotation in Austin. And I know as much as I enjoy the Austin Christmas Eve and Christmas traditions, we made that choice a while ago that especially when the kids were younger, we would do Christmas in our
It
house.
just got too hard
And it
to
was
try to
chaotic
take
go between
Santa gifts and
abs-
all that. Yeah.
So we made that choice, and so what we do is we go down the day after. Now, truth be told, a lot of us were like, "Man, that's the last thing I want to do is get on the road." And yet we got down there, and it was great It was certainly great to visit with my mom and see her there. Got to see Jerry, Rachel, and Steven and the girls and their whole family, and it was nice to be able to experience that with them. There's always that, and I haven't talked about Nana yet because I know that picture is coming up, but we got to see Nana as well. You know, there's no sugarcoating it. My mom is in the deepest stages of Alzheimer's. Whether she actually knows that we're there or not, could this be the last time the kids have a Christmas with her? I don't know. We never know, and that has continued to be a reinforcement anytime I do anything with the Austin crew. Is seize whatever moment you have at whatever stage of life you're having it, because you may not have that moment later. And so it was great to be with them.
And I think to that point, you have to make it, because it is when we go to where her memory care facility, which is amazing. We've talked about, you have to make it. I mean, we laughed, we were cracking each other up. It's just,
Oh yeah,
you can still be
without with not with
you know,
disrespect, but we can
no,
acknowledge
yeah.
not the craziness. I don't want to say that in that context, but just acknowledge the just the unexpected, the you know what, forget it. I'll just say the craziness of what it is, the ridiculousness of what it is, the residents that do what they do, the I'm losing my train of thought because I'm just struggling with this. Just you know what?
It's
just
what
experiencing
it's what it is. I mean, it is that is.
And so
she
laugh about
is
it.
where she is,
Yeah.
and so you can't let it so affect you. And we don't want to be there and be all, oh, this is so sad.
Oh yeah,
It is.
gosh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
horribly. It's horribly sad, but we try to still make it light. And you make fun of yourself every time you're telling a story and she falls asleep. It's just,
she yawns every single
it's
time
just,
I start a story.
you have
so
to find the
when she is in heaven downloading this episode, yeah, Mom, you kept laughing every time that I told
you have
the
to
story.
find the
or yawning.
smiles and laughter in it, even though it's a not fun experience. But and I would have put the picture of all of us. We only took one, but it's the one where we're all leaning over the camera, and so everyone's face just goes, so it's not good.
So go to Clancy's Facebook page. You'll see that picture if you want to. But what this is, so Austin, so we did do a couple Austin things. One is we did go to the original Chewy's, and it is where Chewy's actually started. What was that?
Oh, that was a freaking nightmare. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Some of us enjoyed the original Chewy's. Some of us did not enjoy the original Chewy's. It was crowded. It was an hour wait.
Yeah.
The table was what it was, but it was good to be and having our Mexican food there and with everybody. And then we followed that up by, it's hard to see in this picture, followed it up by the Zilker Christmas tree. And I would encourage you, if you go over to Clancy's Facebook page and you can see kind of when you're standing under it, it makes this incredible pattern, and you spin around and there's kids around there. You spend maybe 5 minutes there. It's not something you spend a lot of time there, but it is, we hadn't been there since 2009. And I saw that video, and so the kids were super young then, and it was neat to go back there and do that. And that was, I mean, Austin is always going to be a quick one, right, for us. But we did earlier that day get to see my 99-year-old Nana, and all of us were there. And this picture here, again, if you're listening, go check out the pictures. But it is Tegan and Tanner there with her. I did find it funny that they were wearing their college sweatshirts that they've got Arizona State.
Yeah. They didn't know that we were still doing things, but because I had told them, I said, it doesn't matter what you wear on the way home. So it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Yeah, and that's right. This was on the way out. That's right. It was on the way out. And it was just great to see her. I mean, she's 90 bleeping 9,
I mean,
right?
she looks amazing. Like whatever her skincare, which I've never asked her, it's probably similar to what my grandmothers did with the old.
It was probably just like
oil
lard
lay
and
that
pig
big.
fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the woman looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's certainly getting up there as far as physical elements and the like, but it's still, she can still, I mean, she's still there having a conversation with us. It's not, this is, I'm not trying to lead into something that it's not.
No.
She's just 99. And it was great for us to be able to see her and the kids to be able to see her again. She still lives in her house. And I think for all of us, I hope that we have as full of a 99 years as she has had.
Yeah. She is an amazing woman, full of just
she got great stories,
wealth of knowledge and stories. Yeah.
She was ahead of her time in a lot of areas. Very progressive, especially about, doing things that women didn't necessarily do earlier than others, going to college, working in the nursing field. Like this was,
I mean, she orders her groceries online before that was the thing to do. I mean, she's
always the technological gadget, but she was always the gadget person.
She can still like text, and she's 99. She's very impressive.
She is also the lady that when she would go in for a tire change, would just say, you know what,
just give me a new
car.
car. Yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
She would go to the Buick, and again, Buick, right? But she'd go to the Buick dealership when she needed new tires. She'd come home with a new car. And they were not taking advantage of her. This was not one of those cases. She wanted a new car.
No. she's been, independent for so long that, since your granddad
My granddad
passed
away when I
away.
was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly which year, but in high school. So that gives you context. She's been independent for a while.
So that was, it was a good, that rounded out our
That was
Christmas season. And we got back and
basically kind of wrapped up, put Tanner on a plane. There's no stories in there.
No,
right?
it's like we got Tanner ready to, go back for a week, and he went back to do his New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so let's talk about New Year's Eve. So we like to do New Year's Eve a certain way, and Tanner likes to do New Year's Eve a certain way.
I mean, it's been this way. Tegan had her friends over. Mm-hmm. They go upstairs. They went out to dinner. They went upstairs to the media room. We don't ever even see them. So I was glad that Tanner was not here this year for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's enough on regular nights of him going out and coming in at now that they can all go to the Star. That was the place they were all at this year. And so, they're coming in at 2:45 via Uber. So I was kind of glad that I wouldn't even have to think about
absolutely not.
When he's coming in. So so I don't remember which this was ours. So
would you like
I mean, Rick and I we enjoy going out. We enjoy doing things, but I have no desire to be up until midnight.
There's two things in there. We don't care to be out that late, right? There's just no desire to do it. And the second is we've backed away from event nights in a big way. Like I have no interest. I would much rather do the nicest dinner possible on the 27th as opposed to the 31st because my experience is going to be so much better than every time we were. So for those that are listening, what you're looking at on the screen is Andy and Anderson, the CNN version of the New York Times one. And I'll explain what's on the right side here in a little bit. But we've several times looked at the crowds there, the ones that have been there since 10 a.m., the ones that you don't know how they handle their biological needs. And that's our vision of hell. Whereas I was in my PJs, had a glass of bourbon next to me. We had just finished our pizza, and we're very comfortable.
Yeah.
We watched Dumb Money. We don't have time to talk about that, but that was a great movie. Dumb Money, big thumbs up to that one.
Yeah.
Well, so then John Mayer gets interviewed, and he had been performing in Tokyo. And this is something that would not have made any sense to us at all, except that we experienced something like this. And this is a cat cafe or a cat bar in this case. So John Mayer is there with cocktails. It's Cat in the Box. It's in Shibuya.
It's right outside the station.
I can't remember if it's Shibuya or the other neighborhood. Either way, but whatever. And there are cats everywhere. And Miso had not been all that interested in the New Year's Eve programming. And then suddenly when these cats came up, he hopped up on the table, the TV's on a table, and just started pawing around, looking around, trying to figure out where these cats were. So that was our night. Miso figuring out where cats are at a cat bar / cafe in Tokyo with John Mayer.
Yeah.
That's our night.
Yeah. It was enjoyable. I was,
I loved every bit of it.
Yeah. I mean, I knew... The next slide, Tanner was at a big EDM
electronic dance music festival.
Kind
of think rave if you're thinking that.
In Phoenix. Something that, okay, if I'm 21, I would have been into it. I did that stuff back then.
It's out at the raceway, the big NASCAR speedway.
Yeah, they got a party bus and went out there and
so genius.
So he was so looking forward to that. And so he was texting us when he got there, and then he sent a text, here's the stage. Well, the picture never came through. So I told Rick, I said, just wait at whatever time, 3:00 our time, ding. My phone's going to ding because he'll be somewhere that service is back. So before we went to bed, I turned it way down. So I heard it. You did not. But yes, so here's the contrast of, here's Tanner at his... big party. So
and he sent us the videos. It looked really,
Yeah.
really cool. Like if it were something that was 7 p.m. that I had private transportation to and I could be in the back and watch it, it looked awesome.
Or I could be somewhere in a covered area.
Yeah, where's
with
the
chairs.
luxury booth
Yeah.
for the EDM? It did look really, really fun. It was a lot different than our meetings. And he said he did text us today saying, thank goodness that they did the party bus because while he got back at 3:30, others were just leaving at 4:30 because of trying to get out of that place.
Yeah. So he had a good time. Tegan and her friends had a good time.
We have no pictures of that because it was as quiet.
Yeah, no, and so that's what I was trying. Like New Year's Day today, she and her friend wanted to go see a movie, and she said, will that interfere with anything that we're doing? I was like, dude, go. I said, I will cook at some point today, but you go do what you want to do, and then
we'll have our black eyes
yeah,
at the very basic version of it.
Yeah.
You're cooking a nice meal tonight, and we'll just have it very laid back
Mm-hmm,
again as we get back into the regular routine.
Yeah.
So that was it. The holidays were fun. I don't want to belabor it, even though I kind of do. It was filled with activity and somehow filled with sit and appreciate. And I don't know how, in my mind, we pulled off both, but I really do feel that we squeezed the juice out of the things to do and embraced the stillness of the season.
Yeah, I agree. This was a good. This one, like I said, it was just a good laid back, even though at times it wasn't. But I guess maybe it was just there wasn't pressure to. I think a lot of it was just that they didn't have their other activities going on top of us trying to do what we wanted to do. Yeah.
Schedule expectations. We could, I think that's the word, as you were saying. I just don't think there were expectations, and that's not entirely fair. Yes, there was an expectation that we did do a Christmas meal, that we did go see family on Christmas Eve, that we did go to Austin. Those are all expectations, but for some reason it just felt different. And you're right. It may be the school expectations, removing that layer and just being family allowed us to enjoy family.
Yep, it was good. So there you go. That's our holiday recap, and stay tuned. 2024, we've got some exciting things coming up. Hopefully, if things work out, and
from the fun to the meaningful to the intense to the light, like there's some things on the docket here that are interesting. And for those of you that have hung with us this long, thank you again. We always appreciate those of you that have listened. For those that are new to this, we say this each time, but we're sincere. Give us your ideas because we're learning this together. So part of why we're doing this is to learn. And I want to hear from others as what was your holiday like? What went well? What didn't go well? If you couldn't sit and enjoy, or you didn't do all the activities, why was that? And we'll learn from that and maybe even share your stories in future episodes.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again on another episode of The Loud Quiet, Living the Empty Nest.